How do you create visibility? Ask any governor in Kenya. Ask them how they got their CECs. The number one CEC is a person who only sent them a message. You are doing a good job, continue with your campaigns. Nothing more. Why? No one else sent. And I'm being honest with you guys. Sorry. Kiingereza ya US haingine inachangana namna hiyo. There is one guy here. I was actually addressing you. Listen to me, guys and beautiful ladies. But gentlemen, you may not listen too much about this. Nyinyi mnajua kujitafutia saa ingine. People run campaigns. Let me put it plainly. They win. But do you know what happens? That governor is vying. Campaign is dirty. Campaign, utapigwa mawe huko. Campaign, after they win, nataka kiti ya CEC. That campaign, I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like the way they speak. After they win, these people are giving PSs to people who are not qualified. I can tell you from where I start. Many times leaders make those decisions limited on the people they know. Not just knowing one-on-one, visible. I can tell you that time in my phone, I called several people. The only thing I had done, I had seen them on TV. There is a lady from Kepsa, I will not mention, maybe you know her. She used to appear on TV many times. So we are here scratching our heads. Who can be PS for this? Who can be this? Who can be this? I picked up my phone, looked for her number. I didn't even have it. Called her. Why? I had seen her on TV. Ukeniuliza alikuwa anasema nini? I was not even remembering what she was saying on TV. But I had seen her. So, as you strategize about your life between now and next year, October, know one thing. A lot about your life can change so drastically. And many times, as I'm repeating, you don't have to quit your job and go volunteer in a political office. Just be around there visible. In a caucus on economics, you are there offering your part-time job on crafting a manifesto. You are there, unasaidia sijui kuweka nini hapo. Especially you who is qualified. And when you are given money, you don't take. When you are told, oh, let's reimburse you mafuta. Unasema, no. Me, I believe in this cause. And I'm not saying which. Choose. This is what usually happens after all. People win. They are MPs to be nominated. They don't come from the air. They come from just around there. You realize you are too qualified among the people there. But because you are also calculating, you have calculated your way. And you realize you are two of you only calculating that way. The rest will only fall in as default settings. And even in the national level, when you pick a camp which you are supporting, don't support from the sidelines. Enda tu hapo wewe ukue hapo visible. Saa zingine unaonekana hapo. Maureen, hebu simama. Maureen, how did I know her? When I was vying in my first campaign 2017, that time I needed people to fill up my msafara. Nionekana niko serious, eh? So mnakuja na gari nikizunguka msafara inaonekana ni mrefu. This girl bana grows younger every year. Now, that time, she started coming with my sister hapo. Kamsafara kanakuwa karefu. Sasa, mnafikiria mambo ikienda hivi na hivi na hivi, Maureen ako wapi? Maureen, you may sit. What did she lose? Nothing. So saa zingine, tafuta hata huyo mtu anapigania hiyo kiti. Go with a different perspective. I may not give you votes, but when you make up your office, I want to be in the background team, making your manifesto, nini. you realize this. This is what I realized. You will not only get your job, you realize in that office, it is you who will be giving other people jobs. I have told you this. Forget all the other points I'll speak. The one that will help you personally is that one. Visibility. Visibility ni hivyo, unaigiana na team members who, unaona, let's say there are 3 camps or 2 which are strong. Moja enda ujivolunteer hapo kama something accountant nini hapo, economist, we are making a manifesto, start calculating around it. You unakuwa na kaofisi hapo, unaendaga Saturday afternoon, uko na ka team. There's nothing you are doing much in terms of politics. You are doing more about your profession. When these teams win, automatically, those people who get planted in your office after serving after 20 years, 25 years, anaplantiwa hata hana experience, now that person will be you. You are the one people will be saying, sasa huyu ametoka wapi? Wewe mwenyewe. Yani, siokei ati ile kiti yuko, wewe unafanya CPK, kwani governor Central Bank anachaguliwangu aje? Anyone here who works for CPK, I want to be practical, for CPK, sitakwambia useme jina, because sitaki usufutwe kazi. Hakuwezi kosa. Anyone anafanya Kenya National Bureau of Statistics? They are there. Now, wewe, na qualification you are CEO, wewe, who has more papers? Say it loud, who? Now, then what is it? Why, kwa nini usikali? Si uende kesho mwambie I have more papers than you. So, visibility number 1, ni volunteering. Visibility number 2, usikae na chenye unajua. Citizen wanatafuta mtu wa kuhoji stories juu ya economy na uko hapo, enter. Go and give your perspective. Create your kabrad. Start creating your name hapo. As a lady, you'll have such a huge opportunity wavelength that you can't exhaust it. Just by the name. The lady I was telling you I called, who was working for KEPSA that time, actually declined to be PS. It means she had a better position where she was working. Yeah, fungulia maji tafadhali. Nimeshika microphone. So, I don't need to buttress that point further. Najua mnasikia vibaya hata nikiendelea kuiongelea. The simplest way to become CEC finance, simplest. Governor anavai, opinion polls zinaonyesha anaweza win, mtafute umwambie, me I believe in your policies, I just want to craft your manifesto. Give me what you want to achieve. Believe you me, you CPS seated here, you will be CEC finance of your county. If you don't become uniulize. You realize you are the only person because ladies shy away. They shy away because utaulizwe unafanya nini kwa campaign. Then wewe mwenyewe you think, your camp is full. Huko kumejaa. Akina nani wamejaa kama wewe hau. Don't see political barazas and think, hiyo camp imejaa. No. Haijajaa kwa hiyo nasema wewe chenye wewe unatafuta. It may be full in all the other perspectives, but I can tell you as a practicing politician, it is not full in what I'm talking about. Let me speak about, so media, make me be your friend. Kidogo tu hapo pale nini, ataenda hapo kama AWAC. Budget imesomwa, wewe tu sema story ya AWAC, position of AWAC. Yeah. Na usicheke sana, enda ka stone face kidogo. Position of AWAC. In this budget policy statement, we are saying this. This could have been improved. This could have been done better. You'll create your brand within a very short time. And whichever camp that wins, They will look for you because there are very few people who have created their brand. Now, let me talk to all of us both in private and public sector. There is a lady who I will challenge you to go study about called Sheryl Sandberg. You can write former COO of Facebook or Meta. Sheryl Sandberg. Sheryl Sandberg. Go study about her a little bit. There's something I want to highlight that will help us. This lady was working for World Bank. In 2008, when Facebook was, majority of us were not on Facebook because we thought it's a small startup worth nothing. It will collapse within a few days. She resigned from World Bank to go in a company that had no structures to set them up. She went there. I want you, saa zingine tusisikize na huyo Sandberg, zisikize na wewe. Ujiweke in your shoes. You have a job paying you $250,000. And some guy is telling you to go and work for a startup. Those guys are not serious. So, she was working for World Bank, a small startup called Facebook. She went there to be the COO, to also help in setting up structures of Meta, or Facebook then. Currently, her net worth is around $3 billion US. $3 billion US is around 420 billion Kenya shillings. Meaning you can buy white sands, useme isiguzwe kitu, lakini imekuwa nyumba yako from today. Now it will not even scratch your net worth. There is something I want you to understand about her, in which I challenge all of us, those who are in the private sector, this is your point. When you are working for a small company or a big one, and you are going into the management, into the top management positions, let us learn as ladies, not just to look for monetary returns. Let's look for equity return. Any CEO of a bank today in Kenya, you are a CEO of a bank, and you are only negotiating your salary. That is not foresight. Negotiate for targets bound up with options of shares. Just tell them, you are making 3 billion profit now, I'll double it, but give me this number of shares after I do that. All these billionaires, majority of them became billionaires out of stock options when it comes to work. You are rewarded through stocks, not just through a salary. This guy, Steve Ballmer of Microsoft, he was an employee of Microsoft. He was employee number 30 of Microsoft. He's now wealthier than Bill Gates. His net worth is higher than the person who started Microsoft. In that company you work for, always negotiate, try. I would feel very good as an owner of a company when the top management comes to me and tell me, wewe, tunatengeneza faida 100 million saa hii. Give us a target to make $1 billion, you give us 20% of your business. I'll be very glad. Because I'll see these are guys who are sharing my dreams. And they are not even asking me to pay them. They're asking me to pay them out of the money they make for me. So learn those things early. Number 2, evaluate your job. You could be in an inflexible position where you are in a hierarchical company. Let's say you work for Kenya National Bureau of Statistics. you are a mid-level manager there. Just try to think about the level of growth that you have to conquer to rise. Sometimes you evaluate and see, do I work for the elephant or do I work for an antelope? An antelope in the financial industry is the company that has the ability to grow in multiples. They have the ability to grow so much, so fast. You evaluate, can I get a 75% cut in my salary, go to a relatively not very old company, negotiate even a stake based on my performance, and within 5 years, you are worthy more than 50 times what you'd be worthy working in the rigidly hierarchical company. You are a DVC of KU. Okay, sawa. DVC of UON. Even if you become VC, can you own UON? You can't. Just imagine that professor of economics there. Just imagine the qualification that person has. But because the society has conditioned us, we want to go for Christmas and say, I'm the DVC of Kedet and Kimathi University. But you don't want to say, I am an advisor, let's say, of Coco. Some startup hata hakajulikani vizuri. But maybe the kind of growth you realize here is in multiples of what you can again gain on the other side. When these big startups were starting, akina Flutterwave, ile ya Nigeria, just imagine a professor going there to become the advisor, and then they are given a stake. There is a story that's given of a guy who went to paint the offices of Facebook when Zuckerberg was starting. And Zuckerberg akauliza huyu jamaa painter, nikulipe na pesa ama shares? The guy said shares. He's now a dollar millionaire, a painter. So you need to check. Do you need to keep on then, look at your age? Stability, you know, I work for Central Bank of Kenya, the best employer in Kenya, you know. Hey, wewe unaniambia story ya kuresign nini? Mimi hata sikwambii uresign kaa. Lakini fanya hesabu, even if you do multiples of your salary, chukua mshahara yako leo, times by 12, and times by the number of years utafanya hiyo kazi. Then tell me, even if you have to be given that money to pay today, would you become wealthy? Then you have eliminated one way of not how to become wealthy. So think about it. Let me go to investments nikimaliza. By the way, now, Sherry Sadberg now runs a venture capital. Venture capital is something I'll be speaking about shortly, because I think we need to capitalize on that. Let me go to investments. I would have told you something about some lady called Lucy Guo. Ni vile nataka kukata sasa points, unaona. Lakini wacha niwasomee kitu kamoja ni screenshot. There is a lady called Lucy Guo. Guo ni G-U-O. Lucy. Lucy kama tu nyinyi Lucy wewe unajua jina yako. Guo si, kuna wenye wanaandika clothes, no, it's G-U-O. Lucy Guo started a company. Is a startup. The lady, she's 31. She's worth around 1.3 billion US dollars. 31-year-old. It's not her first startup. She has done several. But this is what I laughed when I read about her. Just listen to this. She's 31, worth 1.3 billion US dollars. Then, as of 2024, Guo lives in Los Angeles. Now, she was living as a digital nomad for a number of years before buying. That's what I want you to underline. She was living as a digital nomad for a number of years before buying a 6.7 million US dollar apartment in 2020 in Miami, where her parties, sherehe, caused conflict with neighbors. But nilikuwa nataka pia mshike apartment ilikuwa ya pesa gapi. In 2024, she purchased another $4.2 million home in West Hollywood, and then purchased a 30 USD home, a 30 million United States dollar home in Hollywood Hills in 2025. Unaonaje hapo? We need to elevate our discussions now from talking about I invested in a Asako, my 200,000. We must elevate our discussion. And I start my few minutes on the investments. Me husema hivi, based on the age of the many people here, some are our parents, but some are my sisters. Let me talk to all of us. Mimi kwa investments husema, either I'm investing to get a breakthrough, ama niwachane nayo. Kama siigii kutajirika, mi siigii hapo. Na kutajirika ni both ways. I'm risking. Kama siendi hapo nipate multiplications of my money, mi usiniambie mambo ya percentages. Hapo siendi. Because my reasoning is simple. You have 5 million shillings. You buy T-bills and boards. Let's say you buy a board. At 15%. Let's work with 1 million. For simplicity ya mahesabu. After 10. Weka 10. 10 million. Umenunua government instruments. At 15%. That is nominal. Hujaweka inflation. So 15% of 10 million is what? 1.5 million, is it? If you already had 10 million, how will 1.5 change your life? That's usually my reasoning. Aya, uko na 1 million. You already have it, ni pesa yako. Na hauikupata juu ya boards, ulipata kwa njia zingine. So you buy a board of 15%. How much is that? If you already had 1 million, what will 150 do to change your life? So me, I look at it that way. So investments that we have to do start with, because me naongea na nyinyi watu CPAs wote. Angalia dunia, hewa ya dunia kwanza. Dunia inaenda wapi? Hewa ya dunia kwanza. Economically speaking, is the world doing monetary easing? Is the world doing monetary tightening? Is the world lowering interest rates? Or is the world raising interest rates? You start there. And the world, don't bother your mind too much. Look at the US. All the other economies, they follow there. You don't need to bother your mind so much at Germany wanafanya nini, bado wataendelea kukiu nyuma ya US. Don't bother with what Spain is doing. They'll do exactly what the US is doing. Because it's a superpower. Start globally. The bigger element of investment is interest rate. And I'll tell you how it affects everything in a short while.